Welcome back to Weeb Recaps. Today, we'll be recapping Season 1 of the 2015 anime titled, Is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? The story begins with gods creating the universe. After they finished with their creation, they decided to leave heaven and go to Earth to live amongst the humans. The only condition was that they must never use her god powers. The gods only have one power left, and that is called the blessing. They can give this power to a worthy human. The humans who are awarded the blessing become part of the god's family. We are introduced to Bel Canel, who is the last surviving member of the family that belongs to Goddess Hestia. Bel often goes on adventures, and when exploring he is almost killed by a monstrous minotaur, but at the last moment, Ais Wallenstein saves him. Bel almost immediately falls in love with Ais. Hestia learns that Bel has gained a new magical skill that basically levels up all his powers based on his feelings during a combat situation. She doesn't want to reveal this information to anyone because Bel will then be hunted by other gods and their families. The following day Bel goes on more adventures, and that is when his powers start to develop rapidly and he realizes that something is different. He wants to speak to Ais, but he then hears that her family is making fun of him for not being a good fighter. Bel gets sad as he realizes that he can never be with Ais because of his lack of skills. He goes wandering and accidentally ends up in a dungeon. There he just starts fighting monsters, and he does so for many hours. He kills all the monsters and returns to Hestia proud of himself and determined to become better. Hestia still keeps Bel's power a secret, and she goes to travel to see Hephaistos and tells him to create a new weapon for Bel. After accepting Hestia's request, Hephaistos creates a Tanto weapon for Bel. When the weapon is forged, Hestia returns and she asks Bel to go on a date with her. Meanwhile, a mysterious goddess releases a giant gorilla and tells it to attack Bel. This goddess has been trying to find him for a while. The gorilla attacks both Hestia and Bel. Bel tries to use his small knife to attack the gorilla, but the weapon breaks. He then pushes Hestia into a safe room and starts to fight the gorilla with no weapon in hand. In the past, Bel became an adventurer because his grandfather was killed, and soon after he started his journey he met Hestia and became part of her family. Now in the present, Hestia manages to free herself and saves Bel. The two start to run from the gorilla, and meanwhile, Ganesha, another goddess, orders the gorilla to be captured. Hestia then gives Bel the Tanto, and it is revealed to be a weapon that gets more stronger as Bel becomes stronger. Bel takes the weapon and his powers rise a lot, so he manages to kill the gorilla with ease. This battle is seen by the mysterious goddess from afar. Also Ais sees that Bel is actually strong. Hestia loses a lot of her strength and passes out. She recovers and Bel is grateful for her help and the new weapon. Bel, realizing that he has more power, decides to enter more dangerous dungeons. The guild advisor Aina tells him that he needs a new armor as well. Aina also wants to use this opportunity to date Bel. This makes Hestia really jealous, but they manage to buy Bel a new armor. Then Bel saves Lilaruka from her explorer partner Jed. It is revealed that Lilaruka is actually a shapeshifter and she steals Bel's weapon. The weapon becomes useless when it is separated from Bel. Lilaruka accidentally runs into Bel once more and she returns his weapon. Bel then shares a part of his earnings with her, which shocks her. Her previous partner didn't give her anything. It is revealed that the goddess who has been watching Bel is actually Freya. After a few days, Bel tells Hestia that they should go to dinner together. This makes Hestia really happy, as this could be a real date with Bel. She brags about the news to Demeter, who then spreads the rumors all around the town. Now multiple goddesses try to seduce Bel and their date is ruined. Meanwhile, Lilaruka still wants to steal Bel's weapon, but she gets conflicted because he is so kind to her. Bel starts to learn more magic, even creating fire spells, and he then goes to a nearby dungeon to test his new powers. It is revealed that Lilaruka lost her parents very young, and after that, she was forced to support adventurers, but she hates them now. Ais has actually developed an attraction to Bel, but she is disappointed they cannot spend more time together. Meanwhile, Lilaruka once again tricks Bel and sends him to fight a really strong monster. This is her way of stealing his weapon. She is then caught by Jed, her former adventure partner. Lilaruka is then left to die by monster, but Bel arrives to save her. She finally admits that she has been stealing from him, but he forgives her. Lily is forgiven by Hestia and she is ordered to protect Bel at all costs. Bel then goes to meet with Aina and Ais is also there with her. Ais apologizes for everything that has happened and she tells Bel that they can be friends. Ais then also agrees to train Bel so that he becomes stronger. Hestia finds out that Bel is training with Ais and she gets jealous once more but allows it. Freya starts to move forward with her evil plans. Bel and Ais continue to train and she ranks up to level 6, which motivates Bel even more. Bel and Ais then join a new adventure with Lily. This exploration takes them directly to the minotaur that Freya has unleashed. Lily tries to save Bel but gets knocked out. Bel tries to fight the monster on his own, but it is too powerful. Ais and the Loki family members show up and try to help Bel. This angers him as he doesn't want to be a victim anymore. He uses all of his power and goes to attack the Minotaur on his own. Bell manages to defeat the Minotaur. The Loki family and AIS are shocked to see Bell actually win. Bell now ranks up to level 2 and he creates a new skill called Argonaut. Hestia goes to meet other gods and adventurers. Bell wants to upgrade his armor, so he goes to buy some for the legendary armor made by Welf. He actually meets Welf himself and he offers to make him armor if he can join his party. Bell goes to fight a dragon and there he discovers that his new power grants him a power boost at the last second of the battle. Welf and Bell talk and he admits that he doesn't want to craft magic swords as they corrupt people who use them. He then takes Bell's bullhorn and creates a new knife from the materials. Bell, Welf and Lily go on many dungeon adventures together. Hestia is worried about Bell as he keeps going into more dangerous dungeons. Hermes and Asphir try to learn more about Bell and his companions. Bell, Welf, and Lily fight off several monsters at once, but they manage to escape the situation. Suddenly a major earthquake happens and Welf gets injured. Lily and Bell continue through the dungeon. While this is happening, Hermes and Asphir offer their help to Hestia as a way to save Bell and his companions. Bell and his friends cannot keep fighting so many monsters, but just at the right time Hestia and her allies prepare to enter the dungeon and rescue Bell. Hestia and her party members slowly descend into the giant dungeon. Hermes and Hestia talk about his interest in Bell and he admits that someone ordered him to watch over Bell. Welf and Lily are exhausted from the battle and Bell carry them for the rest of the way. Bell manages to avoid the giant Goliath boss, but he soon passes out from exhaustion. Bell wakes up and sees that Air and her family members have saved him and healed his friends. Just at that moment, Hestia arrives with her party and once again gets jealous that Bell is spending time with another girl. Bell and his party members arrive in a town called Rivera. In this town, there are many adventurers and god families. The adventurers hate Bell as he has gained popularity and strength in such a short time span. They decide to kill him and his friends. Hestia actually gets kidnapped by the adventurers. The leader of the adventurers then faces off against Bell in a battle. He uses a special power and fights Bell head-on. Bell is stronger, so he manages to win the fight. After a while, Hestia manages to break free and she arrives scaring the evil adventurers with her god powers. Suddenly a giant earthquake happens. The Goliath from the dungeon appears and Bell has to save all the other adventurers. Asphir also gathers several of the town's locals and they attack the giant beast. Ryu and Asphir manage to keep the Goliath under control long enough to set up an attack. Bell now uses his Argonaut power and charges a fireball blast directly at the monster. This is not enough to defeat the Goliath, so it now goes after Bell. During the battle both Beast and Bell get knocked out. Bell wakes up after being inspired by his friend. Asphir, Mikoto, Welf, and Ryu also join in the battle against the monster. The group manages to destroy the crystal that heals the beast and it is finally destroyed. It is revealed that Zeus is actually Bell's real grandfather, and this means that Bell could have enough power to save the entire world from any future threat. Bell and his friends all gather in a tavern and celebrate their victories. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, comment and subscribe. See you all next time.